No, I don't want it on yet. Not yet. Not yet. Hello, everyone. As you can see, I've got part of my collection this evening. I've done a load of different things. This is Sarah. This is my avant-garde. You can see through the whole range that I've gone with soft, sort of, hazy, feely sort of textures, no sharp lines, no geometric shapes, nothing really straight. This colour, this apricot colour, is my favourite colour this season. I think it's going to be hot. Rather than your blondes, I'm going with golds, apricots. You can see I've got warm browns and things like that. This is just a hair up, again with a hazy sort of texture. And you can do this however you want. You can tame it down, or you can make it, a little bit more avant-garde like I've done. With Karen's hair, this could be quite a full-on street punky look, but I've sort of got the tongs in it and bent it a little bit just to sort of make it a little bit softer. I've added in a couple of little blonde hair pieces just to sort of add a little bit of extra colour. This is Yvette. This is just really nice, long laid haircut, long fringe, very soft. Again, I've just gone through with tongs, just all different shapes, added in a few hair pieces and things like that. Do you guys want to swap? Trish, come up here. Come up here. And this is Trish. This is my short haircut. I've used the chisel and the razor. This could be a very strong haircut. It's got sort of that page boy sort of shape, but I've just really texturized it and taken the weight out. And I sort of like it long in the eyes. So that's my collection so far. Girls, you can go backstage. I'll ask Naomi to come out. Have the chair. Thank you. All right. Now, what I'm going to do is, this is just a little trick that I've learned along the way. And sometimes if you're doing a photo shoot, catwalk shows, things like that, you just need something really quick. And when you've got long hair like this, you're a bit stuck on what to do. So what I'm going to do is only going to take a couple of minutes. All I've done at the moment is I've just pinned it up at the back. I'll just spin around so you can see. Just as flat as possible, just so it's out the way. And this hairstyle isn't meant to be way out. It isn't meant to blow your mind. It's just a little trick. So all I'm going to do is I'm pulling the hair back. So spin around. And I'm just going to do it in a low plait. It has to be quite low. If it's too high, you can see it when I tuck it under. I'll just plait, plait, plait. And then just tie it with a hair tie. Doesn't matter. You're not going to see it. Okay, I'll just spin you around so you can see. See that okay? Yep. All right. And then all I'm going to do is I'm just going to fold it up and tuck it under. So it'll pin into just like a really nice bob shape. Okay. And what I've done on the crown before I came out is I just backcombed it slightly, because if you've got a really long hair, especially if you've got thick hair, you'll find that it goes flat on the crown and then you've got all this bulk through here and it doesn't look too good at all. So I've just put a tiniest bit of backcomb just to keep the shape really nice. I'm going to keep a few longer pieces around the front because I just like that unstructured look. Let's put a a couple of pins in there. Oops, excuse me. Let's pin this under here. It does work well if there's layers on top as well. They have to be the right length, like this sort of length at the fringe, because it just sits over the top. Okay. And then, since I like this fuzzy sort of hazy texture, I'm just going to do a bit of that on top. Just with the back of my hand pushing the hair up. And with the fingers as well. A lot of the work I've done tonight is just with my fingers. I've hardly used any products. A little bit of hairspray. Even with my short haircut, I didn't really have too much wax or anything like that. Definitely going for the softer look. I think last year we had so much of the 80s undercuts, spiky, straight. I've just gone the complete opposite. Okay, we'll just pop a little bit of hairspray on. And there we go. Okay, so let's pop off. Get this off the stage. Thank you. All right, now the girls are just going to come out so you can see my collection once more. I thank you for your time. I hope you like what I've done and enjoy the rest of the evening. Thank you very much.
Thank you very much, Bree. Okay, we'll just check then our next. Okay, our next competitor is Damien Ronaldo from Hair Machine. Thank you.
Good evening. How you going? My name's Damien Ronaldo. I'm the Artistic Director of Hair Machine Norwood. And these are my 4 models for you tonight. I'm going to display for you tonight. My influence tonight, I'm going to be showing you 4 of the styles that I've been doing lately in the salon and we've been shooting. And then for the second half of the show, I'm just going to talk a little bit about us as an industry. So firstly, I'd like to bring Twee up. With Twee style, we've gone for a very aggressive look here. But really, this is a style that's probably inspired me for the whole collection, because I think styles like this create energy in our imagination. So when we see it, I got this influence from when I was looking at one of the alternative shows over in London, over magazine form. We weren't over there. So we've gone for quite an aggressive undercut look on her hair, very strong, okay, and using strong colour work as well, layering through all the top. It's a mohawk form with a very long, exaggerated front, which you'd wear to the side as well, okay? And you can wear this a lot of different ways. I mean, this is a very strong form of the haircut, but the technique used for this haircut can be used for a lot of different hairstyles. Thank you, Twee. I'd like to bring Vanessa through, thanks. Amazingly enough that Twee's and Vanessa's haircut are basically the same sections, but just cut to a different form. So what we've done is done an undercut bob. So what we've done to start with is a bob underneath the haircut there, very solid form, and coloured that quite in a block colour. And then we've dropped over a longer layer through the whole haircut and shadowed it all through. So we've done an undercut as well, but it's more of a softer form. Okay, and then we've obviously used different colour work to soften it up. We've used panels of blonde and copper underneath here through the front section, so we have a nice dark veil running over the top so it's not too stripy. Then running through the back of the hair, we've used bleeding techniques. So what we've done is darken the roots and lightened off the ends and then tone it over the top of it. So it has a great effect. Thank you, Vanessa. We've got Amy now. I think Amy's big this year because the curls are going to come back. But in a set form, I don't think perms are going to be huge again because of the way they damage the hair. And people like shiny colours and versatile hairstyles. So what we've done with Amy's is we haven't permed it chemically, we've permed it in a set form, okay, to influence this. Because what we've done, we just shot Amy for a shoot. So I wanted to have a curly afro effect without it being too afro, having a nice curl about it so it's clean. So what we've done is just set the whole hair, and we've obviously taken the rollers out, then pieced them all up and just separate them all out. Real afro effect, I love it. It was great to shoot, it's a great effect. And then we've just taken a chop out of colour in here, a blonde section, chop that shorter so it gives a real dome, really sets the dark barrier of the afro behind it there. Okay, thank you. Cool. We've got Renata next. Thank you, Renata. Now Renata's just a strong, beautiful bob and platinum blonde. It's just a great image. I love this solid fringe we've got coming in here. I think we're going to see a lot more of that coming through the season, okay, at different lengths, longer as well, shorter as well. And what I've done then is just brushed over longer stripes over the top just to give a great effect for the catwalk. You'll see a lot of this coming through. And you can brush it to the side, obviously, and just have a fringe as well without having longer strands over the top. And we've gone for a real light platinum, pre-lightened areas underneath the hair, and then with a nice creamy blonde for your roots, and done lots of splice work in there, so we get a real contrast of it. So it's quite aggressive colour work, but because of the two tones together being slight from each other, you get quite a natural effect from it, but it's very strong, and she looks fantastic. I love that. Thank you. Excellent. So with the whole collection, I've gone for an asymmetric sort of feel for everything. So everything's a bit angled out. Nothing's really straight lined. It's got lots of dimensions to it. So the client or the person wearing it can wear it a lot of different ways. So you can take that back into the salon and use it in lots of areas. So it's just a bit of personalisation with every style there for everybody. I just want to talk to everyone a little bit about, why we're here tonight and why I'm here tonight. And I think it's great that everyone in this room tonight's here to see this show and support it, because that's what hairdressing's all about. If we don't come out and do these sort of things, our industry's never going to grow. And it's the people you guys here in this room tonight are the people that are going to make it better and stronger. It's not the people sitting at home, it's yous. And you need to realise that you guys are the future of hairdressing. And we need to really work hard if we really want to make it better. But that's the most exciting thing about hairdressing. What I love about being a hairdresser is that we have so much to grow in the form, and so much we can professionalise in hairdressing and get better and better and better. And one thing is turning out to these shows and supporting them, and really working all the time to strive to be better and be proud of what we do. We work too hard to sort of do it for a few years and give it away like everyone does. We need to work longer and harder and really strive to be greater, because it's a hard job, and we do everything. We're psychiatrists, we do people's hair, we've got people's minds, we've got to do everything. So I think it's important that as people we need to really focus on that and really love what we do. And I love what I do as well. And once again, I just like to say, in the way we treat each other in the salon, the way we work in the salon as well, the way we hold ourselves. So every day, we're not there to be psychiatrists, we're there to be hairdressers and be professional about what we are. And so when someone walks into the salon tomorrow, is that they're there to get their hair done, and they want the most from you as a professional. So we don't talk about the weekend and what happened in their love lives and that's brief to get acquaintance, to know someone and get a comfortable feeling. But to really what we need to do is to work on people and work on what we're all about. Let them know that we're hairdressers, we're here to look after you. We're here to sell you your products, we're here to look after your hair, we're here to set the future for you and your goals with your hair. And I think it'd be good if all of us realised that and really worked hard towards that and go to the future with it. I think a lot of times now we sort of get a bit mixed up, and that's why we go off scale about what we're going to do in the future in hairdressing. So it's really important to know that and to work hard for the future. And I'm just going to get the guys to pray again now. Thank you, and thank you very much. I hope you enjoyed my talk tonight, and good luck for the future. Thank you.
Thank you very much, Damien. Could we just have another round of applause for Damien, please? Okay, Patricia, how are we going at the back there? Thumbs are up? Okay. Our third competitor is Michael Catt from MK Haircutters. Please welcome Michael.
Good evening, everybody. My name's Michael Catt. I'm from MK Cutters and Beauty, and I'm sure you've come here to see some inspirational work. I'm sure you want to see something that you can take back to the salon. And firstly, thank you all for coming. It shows you're motivated, you're inspired, you want to see something commercial and perhaps learn something tonight, see something different, and see something that can create something out of your own style, something that can build on your own style. I mean, that's why we're all hairdressers, so we can evolve and be the best we can be at our job and be passionate about it too. Bring up my first model, Kim. Thank you, music. What I'm going to show you tonight is what I believe to be a direction in what we're going to be leading our clientele into. What we're going to see is some cool colours, some cool browns, some blacks, some blondes, and we're going to see sleek styles but with texture at the same time. I'm just going to go through and start razor cutting, taking out some of that weight from the bottom. I'll turn around so everybody can see. To show a hand who razor cuts in the salon? Nobody? 4, about 12. Hands up who doesn't razor cut? Hands up who doesn't want to put their hand up? So I'll just get Kim to put her head back so I can just slightly graduate this style a little bit. Turn around again. Thank you. You can see how cool this brown is. It's really sort of flat and matte. There's no warmth. So I'm just using an open blade razor. I'm just pinching pieces of hair. I've got a basic shape in there. I'm just slicing it down. And, oh, there's some blonde in there. Who put that in there? Was that you? No. Okay. Just turn camera around. Now just get to put your head forward. So with Kim's colour, we used a semi-colour all over in the way of 7-7, fairly cool. And we put some lighter foils through. And you can see I've created this asymmetrical theme with the colour. And instead of doing foils all over, I'm just doing like a block colour in the side, just to show a bit of interest, because that way you can open it up, okay? You can see that when she goes out, she might want to put her hair behind her ear, and she can create a focal point like that. And people go, wow, you got colour in your hair. I didn't know you had colour. You always have it pulled back when I see you. Is that me heavy breathing? I thought it was you. Maybe later. So you can see I'm starting to break up the hair. Getting a bit more movement. So I've created that softer, wispier look. I think what we're looking for too is a healthy look with shine. So everybody see how I've just broken that up? We've created a bit more texture to the back. It's got a more movement. And she can still tie it up. It's still practical, you know. She can tie it back. And it's commercial as well. It's something you two can take home or take back to the salon and do tomorrow straight away. It's not going to freak all your clientele out. Thank you, Kim. Let's do another parade. We'll just bring out our next two models. Okay. So what we've done with Dwight, not Caveman, today is we've pre-lightened it all over. We used a bleach and 12% and just created a light, cool look. Then we rinse that off, and then we put a 7-1, it's like a light ash brown, just through the roots, just to break it up, give it more texture. It's been razor cut all over, it's fairly uniform. Get Dwight to turn around. You can see there's no real neat lines or sharp lines. It's something he can do quite easily at home. He can just towel dry it and put some product in. Thank you, Dwight. This is Keisha. With Keisha, we've introduced some darker colours. We've put some blacks through and put some cool browns. Just turn around. And I've just grabbed most of the hair, pulled it up, and just pinned it at the crown, leaving it fairly textured and messy, and it's even something she can do at home herself. We've put some shine lines in there, just some pieces of black, and we've also put some blonde in there as well, just to poke through. And also I've hacked away at her dress and put it in her hair. That's what happens when you're not looking. And just to create a bit more texture, it gives her the feel of more hair too, and it's something you can incorporate at school formals, girls going out, they want to have a different look, And just let your imagination go wild. I mean, use material. Hair is fabric. It's a material you can manipulate. So don't be scared to go and grab some material or feathers or sticks. Or I've tried chilies before, bit of colour, hot and spicy. Thank you. Let's do a parade. Thank you, Jay. What I've done with Jay is we've kind of given it more of an undercut feel. We've left it long through the top, and I've just hacked out a few bits with the razor there. We've put a few blonde flashes through underneath just to give it that asymmetrical feel again. Okay, and it's a fairly low maintenance style. You can see once again with the men's styling, we're not doing a lot of sharp lines. We're keeping it soft. We're keeping it more sort of rugged, I suppose. That rugged caveman sort of look. Thank you, Jay. Do a parade. Well done. Okay. Isn't she gorgeous? Everybody clap, you think she's gorgeous. Thank you. You can see what I've done here. I've done it darker through the underneath. We've given it heaps of shine. I've put a really cool 611 ash brown through, and I've pre-lightened the foils, then put a toner in, bluey colour toner. You can see when her hair moves, she's getting these flashes come through. You can see when she walked down the catwalk, she was getting that flow, that different texture in the colour as well. And I've kept it healthy and shiny, okay? And she could do lots with it. Thank you. We'll get the models to come out again. Okay. Thank you. Thank you, everybody. Been a great audience.
Thank you very much, Michael. Okay, our next competitor is Daniel Lepore from Labella Hair. I'll just check that everything is ready. How are we going, Patricia? Thumbs up. Good. Just keep in mind in your voting also that it's not just the work that they're doing, but how they are presenting, because we are looking for a platform artistic educator. Okay. Patricia? Yes? Okay. Thank you. Put your hands together for Daniel Lepore from Labella Hair.
Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. I'm Daniel Lepore. I'm here to present to you an innovative, exciting presentation. Basically, I'm going to take you through all the cutting, colouring and styling techniques that I believe that are what is going on in the looks today in the streets. So let me just start here with Adrian. With Adrian's hair, what we basically did is take a mohawk section, right out, keep it out, pin it out, and then basically take vertical sections and cut around from there. Then from then I just took a nice uniform top, just by trimming it up, not taking too much off. Then basically with the colour, what we've done here is we basically just balayaged it all through, just using a caramel colour and a blonde colour, just through the front here as well, just a nice patch. Basically, and that's the look there. Adrian, thank you. Now we have Misha. Misha, basically what we've done here is just a nice square layer through the top. Basically just placing foils, but we think that we need to put colour. So it just takes up the haircut a little bit more. With the foil, what we've done is actually taken a technique of taking the foil out, basically bleaching top part of the foil, then bleaching the bottom, we're leaving a bit out through the middle, just to give it sort of a lining bit of effect. Then I basically went through and just took a lot of weight out just by texturising it heaps. Thanks, Misha. Now, with Ali's hair, what we've actually done here is we've taken radial sections with the colour, just around from the recession line to the opposite recession line. Then taking a nice, as you can see here, we've put a nice fishtail braid in through there as well, just to give it a bit. Then we've just teased it right out, just to give it a bit of body, a bit of a look. We just trimmed our ends just to give it a bit of a nice little haircut as well. And that's about all with Ali's hair. Thanks, Ali. Here we've got Bernarda. Bernarda, basically, we've given her a real modern day sort of mullet, if you want to call it that. Basically, all we've done here is just taken sections from the recession line to the opposite recession line, leaving those sections out, and then just cutting on a 45-degree angle right from the top down to the bottom, giving it that real sharp angle. Then we've basically done a ponytail technique, so we've taken ponytails right around the head, and then colouring those ponytails, just pre-lightening them, and then on top of that we just put a nice caramel tone through there just to give it a bit of colour. Thanks, Ben. Now we've got Ebony. Ebony, what we've done with Ebony here is we've pinned up the whole top, given her a full undercut right underneath, basically giving her a real asymmetrical sort of look. So this side here we've cut really short, nice vertical, and then on the sides we've just left it nice and long through the sides. Then with the colour, what we've done is we've actually put triangular sections just through the patches, just to give it that little bit more of a triangular look as it falls out. And then put nice red tones just through in between, just to give it a nice colour as well. Thanks, Eb. Okay, I'd just like to say thank you to I.H.S for putting this competition together. I'd like to thank, obviously, all the models, beautiful models we got here. I'd like to thank Jasmine from Laundry Clothing to do all the clothing for us. Liana Lara for doing the makeup. And that's about it. I'd just like to say thanks for giving me your time to listen to what I've got to say. And here I present to you the Pure Collection.
on? Yes, we are. Okay, just before we move on to our next section, I'd just like to also point out to you that on your voting slip, there is no number 5 and no number 6. Our next competitor will be number 7. Also, just going through some of our events that we're having at I.H.S. By the way, if there's anybody that wants to join the committee, please, we need committee members to help to put some of these shows together. April the 8th is Alternative Trends, again sponsored by Weller. It's a pre-done competition. Last year we had huge numbers. It was one of our best competitions ever. So please don't forget that date, April the 8th. We also, 29th of April, we have Winner Circle. It's a new thing where we would like everybody that's thinking of competing in the state competitions to come along. It's at Nanette's Hair City in Nanette's Nelia Salon in Highley Street, where we'll be talking about things to do and how to become a winner at the state competitions. May the 5th, we're going country. We did a country competition last year and that was very, very successful again. And then our big one is the state hairdressing competitions on June the 24th at the Hilton Hotel. Yes? Apologies, the boss has just told me that it's at Weller. Then 24th of June, the state hairdressing competitions, and obviously the 29th of June will be the final of this collections live competition. All right, Patricia, how are we going for our next competitor? Thumbs up? Okay. Please put your hands together for Joanna Kokonakos from Simon's Hairdressing. Thank you, Joanna.
In a world of fashion, nothing happens by accident. Everything evolves. You know, some of us have been around for a while and we've seen it happen before, and some of us no doubt will see it happen again. That's history repeating itself. That's fashion. That's how it evolves. Good evening and welcome. Tonight I present to you Versatique, a convertible selection of hair which gives it a bit of a twist expressed through colour, texture, personality, as you can see, with a fluid finish. You know, we talk about fashion and we look at it from an angle as we talk about the past. Okay, some of us have been around, I can't really see, but I'm sure some of us have. We've been around, we've taken that past and we make it now. And we look at things that we can pinch and things that we can use. And I think what's really important is it doesn't matter where your inspiration comes from, whether it's the roaring 20s or the fabulous 50s or perhaps the frilly 80s that are coming back. Whatever it is, it's what you take with it and it's what you do with it that gives you the outcome at the end of the day. I'm a big believer of pinching a bit. You know, if I take a few things, it's stealing, but if I take a lot, it's knowledge. So I think that's pretty okay. I take the knowledge and I use it to the best of my advantage. And that's what I'd like to share with you this evening. I think some really important things to work with is understanding that we have the fundamentals that we want to take on board with us. So I guess with that in mind, I take the first journey, or the single step, and that step is the hair. So I create the vision of what it is that I want to see, and then I get the reality of what I actually have. And sometimes they don't gel, sometimes there's a bit of a gap in between. And I like to think that using imagination gives us the unity and the synergy to be able to express the message of what we want to see. And I think that's what I'm going to share with you this evening. With my models tonight, I pretty much focused on one cutting technique. I didn't go into doing lots of different things because I believe that we have more than scissors to use as tools, and we can create that versatility. And that's what I want to share with you tonight, is the versatility. So I'm a big believer of getting the look that you want through creating it on any length of hair. But not only can you create that, you can take any length of hair on any client and give them that versatility. So first I'd like to present Amanda, and I'd like to talk to you a bit about Amanda's hair. Come on. Like any client, you always have stipulations when you get them. And mine was that I can't cut her hair too short because she wears her hair up because she does a lot of dancing. As you can see, she does and I don't, right? So with Amanda, it was fairly much I kind of call her my wavy baby because she has got wavy hair. And as we cut it, we kind of saw that a little bit more. And with Amanda, we pretty much focused on taking a lot of the bulk out of the layers, so keeping the layers long, just taking away the weight and giving it a bit of looseness and a bit of movement throughout it, and giving it some lightness around the sides here. And she can wear it down, or she can wear it out, or she can wear it down. It doesn't really matter. But the technique was fairly simple. We sort of just focused on taking the bulk out of it. So there's a lot of variation throughout it, and it can be nice and light. With her colour, I sort of looked at it with what I had to work with. She's a natural level 7, and she came with me with about, I think, 40% highlighted hair, and it was fine powder lightener and copper highlights. So instead of spending hours trying to take it all out, I thought I'd work with it and use it to my advantage. So any blonde that you know on a spectrum, when you look at any colour chart or on the street, I've pretty much used every one of them tonight. Because I just wanted to create some caramels and some butterscotch colours. Some very light powder lightener through the top just to give it a bit of versatility. And when you move it around, because I've styled it so tightly, you can actually see there's bits of the lightness coming through, but there's also the depth. I've also put through it some, I've really made a great thing of it, haven't I? I've also put through it some, what I call peekaboo highlights, or peekaboo colour of a chocolate brown throughout it, because, and I didn't want her to be committed with it, so it's not a permanent colour. So if she wants more versatility, she has it throughout the hair. And it just blends in so well with her natural colour. So I just wanted to give her some versatility to work with. And as you can see with the texturing, we've worked with it so you can see the depth. If I'm to push it right down, you can actually see the depth and the lightness sitting on top. Great. Thanks, Amanda. Okay, this is Sexy Rock Chick Llama. We've been just been having a bit of a name game today. And again, Llama's growing her hair, and I had to respect that. So we worked really into shattering, but using very controlled lines of texturing the hair throughout it. And throughout the layers is where we've really worked throughout the mid-lengths. The option with Lana is that it's cut so it can sit quite snug through the nape if we choose to style it that way, or we can lift it up and give it a lot of volume through here. Again, as I said, scissors are not the only tools that are available to use, so there is quite a lot of flexibility here. With Llama's colour, it was pretty much randomly pick it up in panels, and use some very bright red copper and red violet brightness throughout it, and so it allows us to really highlight those strong areas of the haircut, but it gives a versatility either way that you want to go. Thanks, Lama. Okay, so when we talk about the purpose of hair, I think the purpose of the versatility of what we do gives us meaning into what we want to achieve. And I believe that if you have the vision of what it is that you want to do, then all else will follow. If, you know, we may have seen things before, and yes, we certainly may see them again. But if you look at what it is that you want, what you want to do, look at the past, pinch it, use your imagination, take it now. And as I say, in the world of fashion, everything does evolve, and we also evolve as well. And that, my fellow stylists, is no accident. Thank you.
Thank you, Joanna. Okay. We're moving on to now our number 8 competitor, Patricia. Oh, I see thumbs up there. Okay. Number 8 is Christos Kakoufis from Christos Vanley. Please welcome Christos. Thank you.
The theme for Push Expo 72 is Save the Children, and we're all very serious about that because we're expecting the children to save us all.
Yeah, now we're happening. Sorry, buddy. All right. Thanks, Pete. All right. Thank you. Thank you. Welcome, everyone, tonight. Basically, what I've done here, I've all done my models. They're all pre-done, so I won't be doing any work now tonight for you. But basically, what happens here is Nadia has very long hair. She came to me with very long hair, about down to here. And what I decided to do was she wanted to keep her length for work. She wanted to keep it sort of long. But I thought we'd create a bit of a difference. We'll do something that's going to give the hair a little bit more freedom, a little bit more movement, a little bit more interest. So what I've decided to do is basically, when she came to me, I thought, well, what I'll do, the best thing is to get the hair blow-dried straight. Let's see the texture of the hair when it is straight. I took a section from basically the recession area in through and around like a horseshoe, like that. I pinned the hair up and I cut this area very blunt. I used my clippers, I cut it very blunt to give it a real strong line. Then, from there, I did a forward graduation in through the front area. Forward graduation started from about where the center of the ear is and down. I told Nadia to stand up behind the chair. I told her to turn her head to the side. As she did, I slid the hair down. I worked it up and I worked it down just to see where the hair was moving. Because basically, if they're sitting in the chair, I can't really judge it as well as when they're standing up. So that way I get the better projection angle. I slid down and put a few focal points in, a few stronger lines. Basically, the stronger lines create a little bit more emphasis towards her face. She's a beautiful looking girl, and that's what I wanted to do. I dropped that section, then I slid all the hair out. So I could see where my longer section is. Excuse me, can you turn around for me? Can you see where that longer section is there? I basically slid that out, just freehand, or working it through, very thorough, very seamless. And you can't see, basically, any other markings in the hair except for the front area where I wanted those focal points. As I worked through the top section with colour, I kept the hair fairly natural, but I had to create a bit of a difference with the exterior. So what I did, I basically put some powder lightener on just to give it a little bit more lift, a little bit more intensity when I was working at a real fashion colour, like a deep red. And that's the result. Thank you, Nadia. Emily. Basically, with Emily's hair, Emily, she's urban, she's pub, she's club, she's whatever you want her to be. She's dressed up, she's dressed down, however you want it. Basically, with Emily's hair, what I did was I basically took a round layer, a very uniform shape through the hair. I point cut the hair to diffuse any weight in the hair. By point cutting, you allow a lot more freedom, a lot more movement through the hair, and therefore I get this real scattered, uneven texture. The reason why I chose uniform is because it's got a full activated surface. It gives a lot of dimension to the hair. She's got good features, she's young, she's hip, she's funky, she's there. With her colour, I did a 7 level with a warm tone on regrowth. Then I got a sponge with powder lightener and just sponged it through the ends to give it a little bit more depth or a little bit more highlight to colour. I really love Emily's look. Thank you, Emily. Thank you. Emma. This is Emma. And basically, with Emma's hair, this is all last minute stuff, but it's all good. I love it. The adrenaline's great. All right, so I took a square section through the top area here, basically about in that area there. Once I pinned up the square section, I zigzagged along the perimeter of the square, zigzagging so that there's no solid lines involved. By zigzagging, it creates a lot of blend, a lot of marriage. Then I picked it up, cut it square, a very square layer. Dropped the hair down, and with the rest of the hair, I brought it out. I pulled it out and twisted it. By twisting it, the hair falls naturally. By it falling naturally, it allows me to scoop and slide out the hair. if I tried to pick that up with a comb, I couldn't physically do it. So I work with the movement of my wrist. I work with the blend of my wrist out to the weight area of the length. Then it was still a bit heavy, so I did a lot of back cutting to sort of separate the hair and give it more movement. We know that when we cut hair very solid, what happens is the hair tends to sit very clumpy. And I don't like clumpy lines. I don't like anything clumpy. I like it very seamless, very natural. Thank you. Come on down. All right. With Dee's hair, Dee had long hair about down to here. And what I decided to do was give her a bit of a commercial feel. Give her an undercut. The undercut was point cut out again to allow softness. Basically, now what the undercut does is help support that hair out. So we actually get some separation between the shortness and the length. Then I worked through and I dropped the section down. The section was taken from the recession area right around in a horseshoe fashion, I should say. Then we worked the hair by very freehand, sliding the hair down. Just sliding it through to get a shape that will complement her features on her face. The colour, I worked with blonde around the perimeter, bit of powder lightener, didn't want it clean, then worked with some warmth, and then worked the same colour I worked underneath to create a bit of marriage. Thank you very much.
Thank you, Christos. Okay, we're down to our last one, which is number 9. While I'm up here, I better, otherwise Mr. Graham Silway and Mr. Greg Bishop are going to kill me. I'd like to thank our sponsors, Weller. Big round of applause for Weller, please. We doing well? Instructions. Okay. Please welcome our next contestant, Bin Nyung from Emporio. Thank you, Bin.
Good evening. How are you all? Do you have a good time so far with all the show you see so far? I think I really have a good look at the back and it looks really fantastic work. Tonight I represent behalf of Emporio Hairdressing and I choose to introduce you to a new collection we call the Emporio Urban Men Collection. Basically we just based on what the fashion going on at the moment overseas, interstate and right in South Australia. The whole collection are based on very much on what I see on television, book, magazines, and the hair show we see here and there. The whole look we have for the main collection, we try to achieve something really good in the lifestyle for every single guy come to our salon, and it's suitable for them. Like at the daytime they go to work, the night time they go home, go to gym, go to footy, and go out. Especially the weekend, they want to be groovy in the nightclub and get their hair down and enjoy themselves. So with the cutting, I find that we try to get away from all the spiky, the mohawk, the mullet haircut. We try to give a bit more gentle, more softer. With all the haircuts, a lot of texturized through too, but we try to get a bit more heavy to the face. Get away all that sticking up, too much of product on that. You can see that with all the colour, we base on very much on the fruity. And the food we eat every day, like guy nowadays like to have a lot of sushi, go out in the pizza, and drinks a lot of cruiser. So basically, all those colour combination give us a lot of stronger look and a stronger feeling in our salon on what we're doing. And you can see that all my models, they seem to be really easy to wear and they can manage themselves at home. I love to see my model out or my client out and they look exactly when they step out of our salon. So I don't like too much of when you get out and you look at it and you think, oh my God, I don't want to see him because he doesn't represent our salon really well. So as soon as they come out and everyone asks them where they have their hair done, they will tell where we are. That's all I have to say, and I hope you like it.
Thank you very much, Bin. Okay, that was our final competitor for tonight. What we're going to do now is, just before we go to the voting, is we're going to bring out each competitor with their work. So it's just going to refresh your memories. So we'll start off with number one. Please welcome Bree Davey from There and There. Thank you, Bree. Please welcome our second competitor, Damien Ronaldo from Hair Machine. Thank you, Damien. Okay, our third competitor, Mr. Michael Catt from MK Haircutters. Thank you, Michael. Our next competitor, number 4, please welcome Daniel Lepore from Labella Hair. Thank you, Daniel. Our next competitor, competitor number 7. Please welcome Joanna Kokonakos from Simon's Hairdressing. And competitor number 8, please welcome Christos Kakoufis from Christos of Unley. Thank you, Christos. And finally, our last one, competitor number 9, Bin Nguyun from Emporio. Thank you, Bin. Okay, thank you very much. I'll just reinforce the voting. Everybody's got their voting slip, or whoever is a member of I.H.S, are the people that are allowed to vote. Somebody call my name? No? Does anybody need a pen? Pam's got pens. Okay. All you need to do is to put a number 1 next to the person that you think is the winner. Just a number 1 next to the person that you think is a winner. Okay, once you've done your voting, if you could just keep your hand up, and Patricia and Pam will come around and collect your slip. Patricia? Okay, if I could just have your attention please still for another few minutes. I'd like to call on Mr. Graham Selway. Graham? Please welcome Mr. Graham Selway, Managing Director of Wella, South Australia. Thank you, Graham.
Thanks, Frank. While you're pondering on your voting, I'm sure you've all made up your minds anyway.
Sorry, Graham. Please, could we just have your attention for a minute? A bit of silence, please. Mr. Graham would just like to say something.
Thank you, Frank. I'd just like you to put your hands together for all the competitors tonight, win or lose. It's the first competition for Star Search, and it's the first one in the nation. And I think they've done a great job, all of them, and it takes a lot of guts to get here and do that. Just a couple of mentions. I'd like to talk about Star Search, which was originated with a think tank, I think, between Wella and I.H.S. It's coming together very nicely. This is the first one, and it will be the flagship. The video will go to other states, and I'm sure they'll all learn from what's happened on stage tonight. I'd also like to mention the Trends Vision, which is the new name for the Young Australian Challenge, which has been fantastic for Wella and for the young Australians, as there's a few winners in this room. Entries must be in by the 6th of May, and anyone that picked up their bags as they walked in, there's an entry form in there. And the next Wella-sponsored I.H.S night is the 8th of April at the Hilton, and this is Alternative Trends, which Frank did say earlier is pre-done. We started this 3 years ago. The first year we had something like 300 people through the door and 30 competitors. The second year we had something like 60 competitors and 450 people through the door. And last year was a record with 700 people through the door. For little South Australia, that's fantastic. and we had something like 86 competitors. It was a great night. It was also the biggest bar take, by the way, for the Hilton Hotel. And I'm not sure where the commission went. It certainly didn't come to me. The other thing Frank did mention is that on the 29th of April, this is a Meet the Judges night, Frank? The Winner's Circle, a guide to successful competitions information session. Come along, meet the judges and pick up some helpful hints. Now, you know, really guys, anyone that's interested in competitive work should get along to that. The venue is at Weller, Australia, 1 King William Street, Kent Town, and the time is 7 o'clock. For any inquiries, you can phone Anthony Bishop on 0429 698 451 or Nelia Anisi, and I can't read that telephone number, I'm sorry about that, but that's in the book. So thanks for coming along tonight, thanks for your support, and again, thank you to all the competitors, and may the best competitor win. Thank you very much.
Thank you, Graham. There you go. Okay. While the judging, the counting's going on down the back there, it will be about 5 or 10 minutes. Please help yourself to a drink, and when it's time to announce the winner, I'll be back up here to announce the lucky person. Thank you. Anybody that has not handed in their votes, please take it up to the stage where Patricia is standing. Because once they have been counted, that will be the final result. So if anybody has not handed in their results, their voting, please take it up now. Thank you. Okay. Could I just have everybody back to their seats, please? Excuse me, everybody. We're about to announce the winner. Could please everybody go back to their seats? You boozers at the bar, we're going to announce the winner.
You're too soft. Oi! I'm here now. Get your asses over here. The winner is going to be announced. Now. I'll give you 10 seconds. 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, 0. Actually, I can't even see if there's... No, they're still at the bar? Okay. Mr. Selway, I believe he should present this prize. Mr. Selway, front and centre. Did you do your speech before?
Yes, I did, thanks. I didn't
Do you want to know about Collections Live and all that stuff? Yes. Have you got your entry forms? I can't hear you. Oh, okay, excellent. That's for the winner to open.
Well, how do I know who the winner is?
You haven't got your bloody glasses on, so you can't read it, can you? Ladies and gentlemen, the inaugural winner of Collections Live South Australia, and bear in mind the winner of this event is going to Canberra to represent South Australia in the Nationals and People's Choice vote. The voting may change next year, but for tonight, the winner is, by popular choice, number 2, Damien Ronaldo, Hair Machine. Damien, would you like to come up here and get your little piece of paper presented by the MD of Weller in South Australia, Mr. Graham Selway? Do you want to say something and make it brief? Not a wank, okay?
Thank you for everyone for coming, and thank you for whoever voted for me, and thanks a lot. Thank you, Weller, for holding this competition. I hope we do South Australia proud in the Australian Championships. Thank you.
Thank you very much. And for those of you who didn't know, Weller sponsored this event throughout Australia, and they paid $30,000 for the privilege. So for those of you who came along tonight, thanks very much, Bloody Matrix and Salon Hair Care, who also had events on tonight. I believe we lost 290 potential audience, but you know, shit happens. So for those of you that came, I thank you very much that you've supported your team members, your colleagues, whatever it is. And I hope we see you at Collections Live, which is, no, we've had Collections Live. Alternative Trends, the pre-done event, where you can go along and be autonomous, anonymous, call it what you like. The entry forms are available at the desk. Thank you very much to our potential new Frank is our new chairperson of judges, protege. Come up here, Frankie. Oh, well, yes, but does anyone know who you are? Does anyone bloody care who you are?
No, I don't think they care, but they know.
Well, this is Frank, and Frank is our apprentice, chairperson of judges, and I think he did pretty good tonight.
Thanks, man.
You're welcome. So we hope to see you all at Alternative Trends soon.
Yes.
And we hope to see you next year. And thank you very much, Weller, and all of our competitors tonight. Your work was great. Thank you so much, and we'll see you next time.
And thanks to all our committee members for putting this together.
That would be me. Thanks.